everyone, my name is Vea and I'm here trying to get back to planning my own magic into my everyday life, starting with the spring recipes. I was in a very spring foodie mood last weekend, so I thought I'd share these recipes with you guys. So let's jump into it, starting with this vanilla lavender latte using lavender syrup and the Starbucks lavender pod. So delicious. And don't worry, I'll link those two items that I just mentioned down below so you can grab them for yourself. And then let's get cooking. So we're gonna start off with this salmon and asparagus quiche. And before y'all come at me about the eggs, I got my eggs from Sam's Club, y'all, and I think I got the 5 dozen like crate for $18. So if you have a membership or you know somebody that does, ask them to hook you up because I wasn't dying over my price of my eggs. But I'm so sorry if you can't do this. You can do this at any other time or you can use egg beaters or whatever. But back to the other ingredients, the salmon and asparagus. Well, really, the asparagus is very springtimey, the green onions as well, but you can make this any time of the year, to be honest. But these flavors together are amazing, y'all. The salmon with the red peppers and the feta, it just goes oh so well together. And what I love about making quiche is it's just like an omelet. You can add in or leave out whatever you want. You can make it with absolutely no meat. You can make it extra protein rich. You can make it light with, cottage cheese or almond milk or something else in place of the creams. You can do it however you want, and it's still going to be delicious, especially because it's on like a flaky, buttery crust. So, yeah, if you have never tried to make your own quiche, I highly recommend it. So, I basically just chopped up and threw all of my ingredients in the bottom of my pan with my frozen um, what is this stuff called? My frozen pie crust, y'all. I unrolled it and put it in the bottom of the pan that I had. And this is very much a clean out the fridge type of recipe if you want it to be. So again, it's like an omelet. You can throw whatever you have in it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. Now I like mine to be really custardy, so I added both heavy cream and half and half. And then I kind of just judged the ratio of egg to cream based on how it looked. And that's just because I've been making this for a while, but if you're new to this, I would say do about 6 eggs for this size of quiche. And then I took that salmon that I had baked just in whatever seasonings it had on it from Costco and I par baked it because it's gonna keep cooking in the quiche and you don't want your fish like super overcooked. So I just cooked it a little bit, I think on like 400 for like 8 minutes, and then I added it to the bottom. And then it's gonna cook some more while you're cooking the eggs. And I added my feta and my asparagus, and you'll see I arrange it kind of cute for the vibes. And then I pour the egg in. I mean, that's after I pour the egg in, but you'll see what I'm talking about. And I baked this on 350 for about 35 to 40 minutes, just until the eggs had just set in the center and they're not jiggly anymore. And y'all, when I say that I wanted to slice into this quiche as soon as it came out of the oven, and the only reason I didn't is because I knew it would burn my taste buds off. I'm not exaggerating because it smelled so good. My house just smelled like baked goods because of the pie crust. But once I finally did cut into it, which was shortly after it cooled, it was so good. I absolutely love the way this like recipe but non-recipe turned out, and you'll see how it looks in a second. And I basically just let it cool while I was making the next recipe, which is a roasted tomato tart. But y'all see that? It looks so good. So this is the tomato tart. I literally just took these leftover tomatoes that I had for salad and I sliced some of them up and I left some of them whole. I put olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I roasted them in a hot oven until they bursted. Most of them bursted. And then you'll see me take a puff pastry to put them on top of. And I'm also going to slice or chop up and cook some bacon to put on top. And this is another throw together. This is another customizable item or menu item, is what I'm trying to say, because you can put whatever you want on top of it. I mean, anything is good on puff pastry, to be honest, but you can do any combination that you want. You can do no bacon, you can do all cheese, you can do mozzarella cheese. You could do spreadable cheeses like cream cheese or goat cheese. I had goat cheese, but it was the kind that was a little bit more firm. And I just kind of chunked it up. And I also had some shaved Asiago and Parmesan cheese. in my freezer. So that's what I threw on here. But again, that's because it's what I had. But you can put whatever you want on yours. And I love working with puff pastry too because, again, right out of the freezer, I just thaw it out and then rolled it out to give myself more of a surface area to work with. And I poked holes in it so that the middle wouldn't rise while the edges did. So if you've never worked with puff pastry before, the whole thing will puff up if you don't kind of perforate it. So if you're going to try this out, make sure you do that, especially because the topping is going to be kind of heavy because you're going to have the juicy tomatoes on top of it. So I just went ahead and put that in the oven, and because everything was pre-cooked, or it didn't really need to be cooked like the cheeses, I only had to bake this at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and you'll also see how this comes out in a second. And now you can see what the inside of the quiche looks like a little bit because I definitely had my slice while I was waiting on this to come out. And look how pretty, y'all. It was so good. I also waited for this to cool because taste buds, but can y'all see it bubbling? This was so bomb. So again, very, very delicious. And then this is dinner. So I was prepping dinner before because this is a low and slow recipe. So while all these recipes are pretty much easy to me, I think that this is the one that takes the longest, but it's also easy. So if you've never cooked with lavender flowers before, like dry lavender flowers, please don't knock it till you try it. It's so, so good. I'm making a lavender herb roasted chicken. And you can go back and see I lined up every seasoning that I used in here at the beginning of this segment. But the key ingredient is obviously the lavender flowers. But I just mixed it with some olive oil, some minced garlic, and the juices from that jar. You could also add lemon juice, and you could also do honey for like a more savory, sweet type of flavor. But I just went with completely savory. So again, keeping up with the spring foodie mood, this was, like I said, our dinner. And I'm choosing whole wings because they're really good for the low and slow. And because of the lavender flowers, you want to do something that you can cook low and slow that won't dry out. So these whole wings are good, but a more affordable cut of chicken would be like thighs, chicken thighs. You can do boneless, skinless, or the bone and skin on. But the point is you want to do low and slow so that the flowers and the garlic does not burn. So I put these in the oven on 275 at about 2:33 o'clock. So it would be ready for dinner at about 6. And they came out so beautiful and so delicious. We just had it with rice and the leftover asparagus from earlier. And it was so bomb. Let me know what you guys think of these recipes down below. Thank you so, so much for watching. And as always, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.